I'd be remiss if I closed out 2023 and at least didn't acknowledge the fact that Superman 1978, yeah, 45 years. That's painful to say. Painful to say. But yeah, Superman was, I don't want to say it was as big as Star Wars was for me, but they were sort of like synonymous with the same time frame. Like it really was the culmination because that Christmas 78 was the first Christmas that you were really getting Star Wars toys because there was that massive delay of getting Star Wars figures to market, right? So we didn't have them the first Christmas. So this is our first Christmas. Star Wars toys, Star Wars in theaters, Superman arrives. You remember the tagline? You'll believe a man can fly? I'm like, yeah, it really is that good. It is one of those things where I felt as though they captured everything that they needed to do to make you love Superman. Like, I don't even know how to put into words how good this movie has held up for me over the years. It is probably among, if it's not my favorite, it's among my favorite. I watch it every year, probably more than once a year. I'll never forget seeing it for the first time. We were uh, we were in Indiana, so I'm 8 years old. I remember my grandfather making a comment to my grandmother if she had taken me or not. He wasn't going to take me. He wasn't going to the movies, but she would. He basically told her to make sure that they took me to go see Superman, right? And we weren't in our normal area of town because this came out at Christmas time, right? So it literally is coming out in the middle of the Christmas hoobaloo, right? So it's total chaos, right? So we were actually in a different area. I remember it's called Greenwood. It's an area in the Indianapolis area, and that's where we went. We went to that area to see this movie, and I literally can remember this look and feel of the theater. I don't have like a vivid imagery in some ways, but I feel like if I saw, you know how you watch Stranger Things and they've rebuilt the mall for you, right? Those of us that are old enough to remember those mall, the Star Mall, right? I think it's what it's called, right? You see all that, and you're like, yes, that's it, right there. That was the look. If I were to see the theater, I'd be like, that's it, right there. That's how vivid it sort of, and it's weird because I say vivid, but it's like I wish there. I don't know the right adjective to explain the look and the feel. I feel the same way when I saw Airplane. Like we saw Airplane in the theaters and stuff like that. We saw some of these movies. I think it was Airplane the sequel. Actually, let me make sure I got that right. No, Airplane was in 1980, so it may have been. No, it was Airplane 2. It was the sequel. I mean, I remember as a kid, seeing a poster and asking what sequel meant, and that was how I learned what sequel meant. I didn't know what sequel meant. I was like 11, 10 or 11, 11. But yeah, Superman is definitely one of the best ones for me. So the idea that Richard Donner and the creative team came up with enough elements to make me want to learn more about Superman, like Krypton has such a unique feel of everything, right? In fact, look at their suits and the costume design with Brand. And I again remember as a kid, I don't know who Brando is, right? But all the costuming was so different. And then look at the way the colors, like it's green. It's like everything is just different. Everything is just off, right? And then of course the Superman colors in the cockpit of the ship, as Krypton sort of self destructs on itself. Just this beautiful symmetry done. This is the trailer footage. And then you have this sort of like timeline of what the education, and then of course when he arrives, and you're seeing the ship and him raise the car, and then him become Superman. Like this is where he flies right at the camera. And Christopher Reeve just, I don't even know. Are there people that don't like Superman 78? Are there people that hate on Christopher Reeve as Superman? I don't know. Like I just love every aspect of this film. I know it was nominated for several awards. I think it only won for visual effects, but it was nominated for several awards like score and editing and things like that. But it had the elements and wholesomeness of what Superman needs to be to work so well. Like all of look at how well this trailer sets all this up, right? Look at the cut they did there where they cut the one scene into the flying around the globe scene.
This year, Superman brings you the gift of flight.
Isn't that great? Superman brings you the gift of flight. What a great way to hook a kid, right? And the way the graphics, they had the title sequence and the graphics and stuff like that. It's just so good. But I've always wondered, like, who are the people who didn't like Superman? Like, who are those people? You know what I mean? Yeah. I love the fact that this trailer I don't think reveals anything about Luthor. I think in this first trailer. So interesting. Yeah, it's 45 years. I'm like, I don't know that Fathom Events did anything special, but it's made me want to, over the course of this holiday that we're in the middle of, I will be rewatching Superman 78. I'll be taking this in. I'll probably watch both first one and the second one for sure. Because it's almost like they're like one big movie project, right? The way they splice in General Zod and everybody, the Phantom Zone and all that. It's like it's all one big giant movie for me. Almost feel like I could do a super cut of both films, but yeah, this is literally stream of consciousness stuff for me because I didn't. It's one of these things where I needed to do this video and didn't get to it. Then I had that sinus infection, which messed me up for like a day and a half. Things like that. Look at me, I'm a mess. I haven't even been asleep. Look at me, I'm a mess. And reality is, I love this movie. Love it, love it, love it. And I had to make sure that we all took note. 45 years now. Not like even like 2023, like in December of 1978. So there you go. Take care, everybody. I am Pops.
Yeah. Right?